All right, there's a lot going on right now with Israel. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's in the news all the time now for some reason. A lot of people think that Israel is responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. I'm not really sure about that, but let's check it out. The first thing I want to show you, I've got 6 videos right here. The last couple videos are actually really, really important because they have to do with Israel's takeover of our social media and influencing basically most of our media. So, supposedly. So let's just start off with this. This is just to whet your appetite. This is called Zionist Attempts to Interrupt an Artist Gathering for Palestine. Let's just see.
What are you doing here?
I'm
peace here.
Yeah, so am I. Back off me, back off type. Jew boy. Yeah? 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 You wanna push? You wanna push? Yeah. You wanna? Is that what you want? Do it again. Do it again. You fucking animal. You're worse than a fucking Muslim. Worse. You should have been aborted. You should have been thrown into an oven. I'd throw you in myself. Stop walking.
What are you doing?
I'm standing here.
You're not free to harass people.
I am free to harass people. I'm going to walk away.
Whoa, you can't do that. I don't know what this is. You can't do that. Problem, sir?
Yeah.
That's a hard time.
Oh no.
Get your hands off of him. What do you think you're doing? Get your hands off of him. Don't touch him.
Bob's just standing there watching this.
Oh! Oh! Arms around the neck! Arms around the neck!
Can you take your hands off him?
Arms around the neck! You gonna do it? You're gonna do it? You're vulnerable. Yeah.
Try it.
Hey.
You're tired, bro. A little winded. You over 50? 60. All right, so take care of yourself.
The one thing we had was brains. Brains and balls. You got nothing. No brains, no balls. No dick, no nothing. You should have been dead in the Holocaust, not your grandparents. Your grandparents would fucking slit their own throats if they saw what you're up to. If you suck dick, you think the Goyim and the Arabs are going to like you better? We're always going to be here in your fucking face. Always. Got it? Always. There's always going to be an Israel, and it's always going to be in your fucking face.
So here's what's really interesting. But obviously, this guy's insane. Good indication if somebody's insane is that that thing on the side of their mouth. Oh God, honestly, if people want to ask me what I consider hell, is being stuck in a room with somebody with that on the side of their mouth. Because they're just, you know what I'm talking about. You saw it. Disgusting. I don't know why he did that. It seemed it seemed like he was playing for both sides the whole time. He was making fun of Jews, then making fun of Muslims. Then he said Israel will be there in your face for the rest of your life. Blah blah. Obviously, the guy's insane. So now let's take a look at Israeli Rabbi Ronen Shulov. Every child in Gaza should starve to death. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about extremism. This is what we're talking about. If this is not extremism, I don't know what is.
כל עזה וכל ילד בעזה צריך למות מרעב. אני לא מרחם על מי שבעוד כמה שנים יגדל ולא ירחם עלינו. רק מטומטם ערב רב, שונא ישראל, מרחם על המחבלים הבאים למרות שהיום הם קטנים והלוואי רעבים. מי ייתן ימותו מרעב. ולמי שיש בעיה מה שאמרתי, זה בעיה שלו. לא למדנו מעמלק, שהשארנו זכר ממנו. בעזה אין בלתי מעורבים.
I mean, this is just extremism. They're both extreme, guys. Hamas and Israel, they're both extremists. That's it. That's all you have to know. I mean, wishing for every child to starve to death just because you think that all of them are going to grow up to attack Israel? No, that's extreme. What is going on in Israel? What is going on? Now, I'll tell you something. Right now, this is something interesting. Now, of course, this is entitled Israel Getting Away with Everything Again. Israel just kidnapped 497 people from 46 countries from the global Samud flotilla, violating convention and the law of the sea and international law with absolutely no consequences. It says free the hostages. So, obviously, if you don't know what's going on, but there's a bunch of flotillas. That means a bunch of boats with a bunch of humanitarians on there with food and resources and supplies for people in Gaza that they're trying to get to them. And Israel is blockading them right now, which is their right, I guess, because you know what? It's their country. They might think that they're up to something nefarious, and I can understand that, but they just took them. These are humanitarians. These are humanitarians, supposedly. They just took 497 of them to a secret location, and now they're holding them indefinitely. Now, this is where we get to the seriousness of what's going on. It says Israeli Prime Minister talking about his control over America. This is Netanyahu. Complains about the woke right and says TikTok is the best weapon to be purchased in the propaganda war. So this is what the big news is that Israel right now is buying up all of our shares of all of our social media, and also paying millions to influencers in America so that they can spread his message because he is complaining about anti-Semitism. Is this dangerous? Yeah. I don't want some foreign country influencing our country using social media, and this is exactly what he's about to say. Let's take a listen.
Okay. He said, he talked about the woke right, and he said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community. They're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight. Okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
So basically, he's talking about the takeover of our social media. How do I know? Let's check this out. This says Larry Ellison New TikTok owner is a close Netanyahu ally who has funneled millions to Israel's military. He's pushing for data centralization and total surveillance. He says citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching. His son controls CBS News and is looking to acquire CNN. And as you heard, Netanyahu said, we need to acquire X and we need to acquire TikTok. So let's take a look at what he says.
Recording, watching, your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government, but also tell us a bit about what, because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform. So we provide context. When we want to ask a question, we've provided that AI model with all the data they need to understand our country. So that's the big step. That's kind of the missing link. We need to unify all of the national data, put it into a database where it's easily consumable by the AI model, and then ask whatever question you like.
So you're really, through the use of this, you're revolutionizing the way government works, right? The services it provides, the way that it operates. What about things like financial management, procurement? How can AI help a government operate more efficiently, more effectively, give a more direct and better service to the citizen?
Well, we have these modern financial systems. So, countries can, and all. For example, the AI system will help you do that. But again, the secret is to get all of that data in one place. Without having the basic data, it cannot answer the question about your country. I think countries are very uncomfortable with keeping their data in other countries' data centers. So I think part of our essential infrastructure, just like airports obviously need to be in our country, or they're not terribly useful. Ports need to be in our country, and they're not terribly useful. Data centers, because of the privacy requirements around the data, need to be in our countries, or they're not terribly useful. They need to be in our countries, but they also need to be secure. And there are new technologies right now. This is the last year you will ever log on to an Oracle system with a password. Next, by the middle of this year, I'm quite certain you are Tony Blair. So how do I know? Well, I look at you, I hear your voice, I listen to the kind of questions you ask. I'm pretty sure you're not synthetically created in having this conversation. The security system, we have biometric logins. The computer recognizes you. It recognizes your voice. It might ask you to put your index finger on the return key. And we're absolutely certain it's you. There's no reason to enter a password. In fact, passwords are too easily stolen. Data centers and data is being taken hostage all over the world. The ransomware business is a very, very good business. It's getting bigger and better every year. We tend not to talk about it, because the American FBI has a simple advice to someone whose data has been ransomed. Just pay them, because there's nothing we can do about it. But there is something we can do about it, not after the data is stolen, but before the data is stolen. We can make sure that we're using the latest security technology, and it is going to be biometrics assisted by AI to make sure that you are in fact Tony Blair, and I'm sure you are. Now, I would love to live to be 150 years old.
Well, there's an amazing opportunity to reimagine the state, the way that government functions, and the service that it can provide for its citizens.
Yeah, that's the Trojan horse. It's all to provide for us, the citizens. That's the Trojan horse that all of this is going to happen under. So as you can see, they don't give a crap about us. They want to centralize every single piece of information. He says down to your genetic information. They want everything pumped into their AI models so that they can manipulate us better. And in fact, Netanyahu just admitted, we need to acquire TikTok. We need to acquire X. We need to talk to our friend Elon so that we can manipulate everybody's opinion about Israel and control the flow of information so that whatever we want people to think about Israel is what they are going to think by controlling every single aspect of their social media. And I told you a while back that California is now trying to pass a law with George Soros saying that anybody who says anything that's offensive, they can now be the social media platforms can now be fined $1 million apiece for each offensive comment, so that they start to really hammer down on people like me who are just trying to speak our minds. And if we have a different opinion about Israel, we see them as extremists, their government. We see the government of Israel as an extremist, just like Hamas. They're just as bad, I think, in my opinion, because as you see, people, from their country are talking about, we're just gonna openly tell everybody, I hope every Palestinian child dies, even the babies. Yeah, because they're all going to grow up and be terrorists, all of them. That's an extremist view. And guess what? Do you think if that guy had a button to press and it would kill every single child in Gaza, that he would do it? Yeah, you're damn right he would do it. So now, here's where this is leading. There's a lot of opposition. Now, if we look at Zoran Mandani, if Netanyahu comes to deliver a speech at the United Nations General Assembly in New York next year, while I am mayor, I will move to honor the ICC arrest warrant issued in The Hague against him. So right now, Israel is under a lot of fire from a lot of international communities and governments, especially The Hague and the ICC. And he said, just as I would Putin, I would arrest Netanyahu. So let's see what he says.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is visiting the White House as we are talking today. He addressed the UN General Assembly here just a few days ago in New York. Now, the International Criminal Court has a warrant out for his address. They say that they accuse him of crimes against humanity. You have called, as I mentioned, Netanyahu's actions in Gaza genocide. It's going to become not just a rhetorical, but a question rooted in reality if you are mayor. As mayor of New York, you will oversee the next UN General Assembly, right, if you're mayor. Will you abide by the International Criminal Court? Will you have Prime Minister Netanyahu arrested if he's here?
Look, I've said time and time again that this is a city that believes in international law. This is a city whose values are ones that deserve to actually be reflected in our commitments. And I think that our city should uphold the warrants the International Criminal Court issues, whether it be for Benjamin Netanyahu or Vladimir Putin. And also, I am not Donald Trump. I will follow the laws as they are, as opposed to bend them to my own will. So we will pursue every legal avenue to ensure that that accountability is present. And the reason for that is that the context we are speaking about, this is a man who has orchestrated a genocide that has killed one Palestinian child every hour for close to 2 years. This is someone whose conduct I hear about from New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs. And they come to me with a horror at what they have witnessed, and for some New Yorkers, a horror as to what they have lost. There was a Palestinian New Yorker who spoke to me about losing 85 members of her family who were all killed by the Israeli military in Gaza. It's unconscionable, and a mayor's responsibility is to the people of this city, but it's also an opportunity to show your values as the leader of this city.
Okay, so in my opinion, Israel has a lot more power than anybody ever can imagine. And one of their biggest goals is to take care of or take over our social media, TikTok, Instagram, or X, Instagram X, or Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, and YouTube. They in fact, if you look it up, Israel and Netanyahu met with dozens and dozens of influencers from the United States and are paying them like something like 5, 10, 15 grand or something like that per post that's positive about Israel. That right there should be illegal. You should not be able to pay influencers money for every positive post that you make about Israel. The truth needs to come out, but as we can see in this technological age that we're entering into, which is AI, and I'm about to make a video on AI as well, if you guys stick around and subscribe and put on your notifications, that AI will take over, and the people who control the AI, like Israel, like the United States government, these people will absolutely be able to dominate every single U.S. citizen, every world citizen, by gathering all their information and just asking any question that you heard him. We could ask any question we want and have the answer immediately. How do I suppress this guy who keeps talking negatively about the U.S. government or against Israel? How do we find him? What's his name? How can we easily arrest him? All these things, that's exactly what this is leading to. This is not leading to helping the citizens like that one video that we just saw. Oh, this is all to help the citizens. The NIH, the National Institute of Health in the UK has so much information on us that we could help, but it's all scattered. So we need to bring it all together under one roof. Under one roof? Whose roof? Your roof. The guy's roof. The guy over here, right here. Larry Ellison. That's the roof that they want it under. The new TikTok owner. He's a close ally to Netanyahu, who has funneled millions to Israel's military. He's pushing for data centralization and total surveillance. That's where this is leading, guys.